It's time for another album review, and today we'll be reviewing the 1975's I Like It When You Sleep, for You're So Beautiful Yet So Unaware of It. That's going to be a fucking nightmare to talk about for the rest of this review. This is a follow-up to Manchester all indie pop rock self-titled debut back in 2013, which was a very inoffensive, bland debut, and you probably already know, if you follow me on any social media, that I'm not the biggest fan of this band. Their sound is just very uninspired and leaves a lot to be desired, for me anyway, and the vocals from Matt Healy, I don't know, I think he's just got one of these voices that you either really like, which if you're one of the hundreds of thousands of fans that I see on Twitter every day, you do like a lot, or you just hate it. I feel like it's almost like another Manchester act. Everything's lead singer, whose voice I did dislike at first, but over time it started to grow on me. And just like everything, 1975 have progressed, I'd say, in this album, which is actually more enjoyable than I anticipated, which I hate to admit, but credit where credit's due. The first half of this album is great. I can't deny that. It starts off this very cinematic, almost atmospheric opening, which then leads into Love Me, the first single released for this album, and it couldn't be more 80s if it wanted to. There's the obvious comparison to The About, which if you've listened to the track you'll know straight away. It's just a very well-rounded funk rock act with a really catchy chorus, which I'm surprised how the 1975 have progressed when making their songs. Well, not every track on this album is perfect by any means. There is, I'd say, an equal amount of duds to really good tracks. It's probably the best track on this album for me, in the top 3 anyway. It's just a tale of addiction that in itself is just very catchy. This doesn't mean that this whole album is just pop music, 'cause it's not that case at all. If I Believe You and A Change of Heart are two tracks that are less octane, that are a change of pace, which is quite nice to see there. You don't want to have just all these really well produced pop songs, which sounds like you're having too much of a good thing there, but sometimes that is the case. But If I Believe You has a kind of gospel kind of sound that Bloc Party were trying to go for on Hymns, which they totally failed with. Change of Heart also kind of reminds me of Bloc Party in some sort of way. It sounds like something that would be like a B-side of Weekend in the City, but I enjoyed the kind of anti-romantic sentiment to it. There's a huge problem with inconsistency in this album though, and it brings the album down quite a bit. There's a few instrumentals that just pop out of nowhere, and every time I've tried to listen to this album, they never get more appealing. They just become really dire, boring, bland. It kind of just brings you back to thinking about their debut album quite a bit, and not in a good, reminiscent way either. The second half of this album is especially weak. From what I can really recall, there's only 2 tracks on the second half that I enjoyed and have came back to multiple times, and that is Somebody Else, which is quite similar to A Change of Heart but enjoyable nonetheless, and then Loving Someone, which just has this really catchy hook which just says the title of the track. It keeps popping up, it's a really strong, catchy female vocal, and on here it does work in the band's favour, but the thing is, that's the second half. You're trying to leave a good impression on your listener, and it feels like with this it's kind of similar to The Life of Pablo in the way that it's just kind of a mess. Unlike The Life of Pablo though, that's an album that seems to evolve, that fans are making their own kind of track list for it, and in that way it shines. It acts like a kind of story, not like Good Kid Mad City kind of story, but one that kind of tells a tale. Whereas the way that this album is a mess is it's so well shined, so well polished at the first half, but as this album goes on, it just starts to show its true colours, and they're not pretty at all. This album's the definition of a double-edged sword, and as much as I did enjoy the few tracks on here, I can't really see myself giving this anything more than a 5 out of 10. Welcome to Ensley, and thank you for watching this video. I know it's quite difficult for watching the amount of reviews on show on YouTube, especially album reviews. I feel like, at least with video game ones and even movie ones, you've got a bit to work with on these kind of music reviews. You need to have you have to rely on people being interested in the first place. So thanks for watching this. I'll link to two other videos of mine. The first one I'll link you to is my top 10 controversial music videos, one that I done recently, which was an absolute nightmare to edit, and I've already had multiple copyright claims about that, which I feel was quite unfair, especially for the amount of time I've used each of them. I'm not really surprised though with the kind of uproar about fair use on YouTube. Hopefully I can get that sorted with. I'm not really relying on YouTube for income anyway, but it is quite annoying because of the kind of repercussions these kind of copyright claims can have on a channel. The other video that I'll recommend is my Life of Pablo Kanye West review, which I mentioned in the video, and it's not a very long video at all. I'm still trying to find my footing, so I'm not really sure how I want to do each video. Right now I'm quite enjoying doing a different sort of thing with them, whether it being that silly It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia kind of intro on some of my other videos that I've done, or just doing it in a new location. I feel like it might make it a bit